Good afternoon, ladies and gents. All right, so I figured I'd do a walk and read today. A walk and read. So last night, my neighbor, who is a really cool dude, we were talking. We were in our little vortex, a little realm, and he was pulling some cards. I was like, I think I was watching something on TV. It was a comedy special I was watching, and my friend is being serious, like, dude, these are really important cards. I'm like, watching something that's funny. But then this morning I was cleaning my apartment, and I saw there on the floor the cards that he drew. So I want to share these with everybody. There's my affirmation. People don't really know this about me, but I always ask the universe, my environment, or what have you, affirmation. So it's either a siren from a police car or fire truck, or a car horn that honks. So anyways, so I'll read these off. And like I always say to people, every card deck is different. It's really about the person who's drawing them. And some people always seek answers, you can't just, not to offend anyone, but you can't always just pray and then wait around to see the affirmation, There are ways to, pray to ask for affirmation and utilize the different tools and fun things that make things not so serious, and then you can utilize those for your affirmation. So anyway, the first one was transformation. Really, y'all? This is why I don't like us opening up right now. Everyone's drunk on Broadway Boulevard. So transformation. Transformation card says things are changing at a cellular level. Deep healing is on its way. One more time, things are changing at a cellular level. So cellular, we're thinking body, we're thinking DNA. I was sharing with my friend yesterday about melanin. And if we go to the Bible, I'm crossing over again. This is why I like being smart. So the Bible says he gave us a land filled with milk and honey. I think that's in Luke. So milk and honey all feed our melanin. Melanin comes from our pineal gland. The color of our skin actually is why we have melanin. Some people need sunscreen because they don't have a lot of melanin production. That's just what your blood is. That's in your DNA. People with blue eyes don't have that much melanin. People with dark black eyes have a lot of it. I'm in the middle. So my eyes are like, one is, I don't know if you can see my eyes, but they're brown. Anyway, so that was transformation. Next card, Warrior Woman. Why is it windy right here? Warrior Woman. I like this card, Warrior Woman. Let me cross the street and go this way because it's too windy. So I was watching this TV show. If you know Xena, Warrior Princess, she has this. She actually is a narrator of this TV show called Warrior Women, and she tells the story of each. It's kind of cool. I didn't even know Mulan from Disney was actually a real story. So there's a lot of things that you learn. Let's switch over here. All right. So Warrior Woman, that was a good one. Drunk girl still walking behind me. It says, have you answered your deepest calling? I know a lot of people out there who have been waiting for this pandemic to get over. Now you have the opportunity to branch out and really just supersede how you would do things before. You want to upgrade it. Like case in fact for me, instead of making a flyer and saying, hey, I have a class, why don't I put some music on that flyer, just to be cool. No reason. Like my friend JJ, I like to shout you out. JJ spent a lot of time during this quarantine to put his lecture demos together, put his Reiki certification together. All of his graphic images are like superb. So that goes with Warrior Woman. It's like you're answering your deepest calling, but within the divine feminine energy. The divine feminine energy is all within the inner self. It's almost like you want to help people. When you help people, you feel good about it. That comes from your heart, the acting from your heart, kindness of your heart. The masculine, which is fascinating because majority of the women in my life, they have the masculine alpha female character trait. And those who are aware of that, the problem or circumstance is you have to find out where it is appropriate and where it's not. So for feminine, masculine men like myself, our balance is within connecting to our source, which, let's say for me, mine is, I think like my general purpose in life is to stand up for something, stand up for humanity, step up for humankind. And recently, with all the, like yesterday, the post I wrote was supposed to be funny. And some people, they always take what I say literal because that's what they do all the time. Everything is so serious and literal, or they don't want things to be literal anymore. So I noticed that same character trait, the alpha female, who's the boss of everything, and they own this whole see, all that's it's being torn down. It's being ripped apart. And those who keep denying it, they're going to keep going through cycles where they're going to keep being triggered until they break that wall down. The men, like literal men, who are tapping more into their feminine energy, you see them going to be boosting into these self-employed situations. I know a lot of men who are genetically men at birth are transitioning. So there's a lot going on within our upper realms, is what I like to call it, with this warrior woman. Usually we would see King Arthur, Robin Hood, all these men who have swords and whatnot fighting. Now it has flipped. So now that you're aware that things have flipped, you have to realize, regardless of your zodiac sign or whatever fixed earth, water, air sign, at the end of the day, you're a contribution to society. So contribution really, to me, contribution means you're offering up, you're giving and receiving without taking. But I know a lot of people, when they're in a situation or in front of people, they take. And what they think they're doing is they're taking it, recycling it, polishing it, because, their title, their role is really about metamorphosis and helping other people evolve. But when they take too much, they're throwing it back at the person, but they're not securing or ensuring that what they're oh gosh, this is confusing. Let's say I'm a therapist, for long story short. And as a therapist, and you're my client, let's just say I know one mistake that you made. In the next session, it's not my job to tell you, so have you worked on that mistake yet? How's it going? Hi, buddy. Dogs love me. I love dogs. They love to smell my feet because they funky. Anyway. So you're my client, I'm your therapist. But one session should not be dragged on and on and on. So I would say to the women out there, this isn't me, this is the channeling. Don't carry and drag everything day to day to day to day to day. Because I saw this happen yesterday. One post was about something completely different, and the two people who attacked me were women who I had known for a very long time. They took something from years ago and they dragged it. You always blah blah blah, and I'm like, I always, or you just pay too much attention to what I do that bothers you. Some people don't find it bothersome when someone is expressing themselves, but I've noticed that a lot of women these days, I'll get on the men later, but the women these days, they have this superiority complex because they're in the masculine energy right now, and the collective consciousness, everyone should know that we need to be going into the feminine, regardless of your gender, you know. But a lot of people in the masculine energy, which is the ego as well, sometimes it's helpful, it's protective, but it's also hazardous in terms of your environment, and it rubs people the wrong way. And you can't walk around town going, well, I didn't know that I was going to rub you the wrong way. It's already too late because we're already too triggered. Right now, it's like a moment where one strike, you're out. You ain't my friend. All right, next card. I'll go through these a little faster. This one says, trust in your path. So, trust your path. It says, if you knew you would be supported, what would you do? If you knew you would be supported. And a lot of people, what they do is they think support is, Aaron has a lot of friends on Facebook. They don't want to pay attention to what he's saying, but they'll pay attention to me. So then what they do is this happened with a friend a couple months ago. They utilized my friends list to add people. We call them clout chasers, right? Clout. They're trying to chase some clout. But when I caught on to it, I'm like, hey, I worked hard to have my, hi bees, how are you? Yeah, y'all just stay right over there and you eat. I'll be fine. Yeah, but I was like, you can't use me for, nah, we ain't having that. So this Aaron that I am now, though I'm more into the feminine energy, I will not hesitate to, in 2 seconds, flip into, Bonquisha's baby father. Oh, no, we ain't having that. Long story short, on Wednesday, I was Tuesday. Yeah, I was walking. Thursday. I was walking home from the corner market, and these two guys in a bar and the bartender got into an argument with some random dude. Random dude was kind of frustrated. He was drunk and belligerent, but they wanted to kick him out because he was in their space and irritating them. That I understand. He's outside and he's just standing at the door. The bartender says, "This is my bar," blah, 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 blah. And I just went up to the guy, the crazy cuckoo guy, and I said, "Come on, let's go for a walk. Let's just, I was trying to diffuse the situation. That's what the divine feminine would do. I'll be the bridge of both sides. What had happened was the bartender put his finger right here and said, "Go yourself." And I was like, uh-oh. And it was like the Hulk. Then the masculine energy comes in because this is always what's unfair about the fabrication of our society. White guy tells black guy he can go F himself. That was like strike 3 in my opinion. Then the two guys who were inside, one of them got in my face really bad. He was like, oh, you, and he said, I guess people, when they're already triggered and they took the bait, they're so hot. And so when they're in that masculine energy, now I'm getting on the men. Men have an issue with wanting to finish what they carried out. So even if the trigger was with the guy inside who was belligerent, and the guy separated himself and left, who's the next person? Oh, this little skinny dude right here. Yeah. Then he was projecting the situation onto me. The problem is, I knew that two alpha male energies, when I am in the masculine, then they don't. Because what happens is I can't get a word out, and then I get so angry, then I start to convulse, because I don't like to hate people, and I don't like to argue, and I certainly don't like to cuss people out. Even though I use profanity, I never want to curse people out, because then that resolves what? Nothing. So long story short, and this is all like in trusting your path. So I was trying to support everybody by saying, let me help you guys remove the problem. But then I got attacked. That's what empaths do. We get attacked for everything. So the guy who was really quiet out of the three numbheads, he offered me a shot. He's like, let's go on, let's go drink. I was like, eh. What would have been a great situation is, because we're by the beach, like a block away, if we go for a walk around the block and cool it off and just have a good adult discussion and then go inside and have a drink at the bar, I would have been cool, but I denied. Hi, butterfly. Look. Aw, I was close. Anyway. So, yeah, anyways, moving on. That was horrible. I can't believe I almost got into a fight, though. Oh gosh, I was gonna fight with 3 people. I would have taken them all down. I've never gotten into a fight, but trust me, I'll be like, when I was 4 years old, I wanted that toy. All right, so this one is the play card. This has a lot to do with your inner child. It says, have fun, celebrate, don't be so serious. And I know some people try to tell me this too on social media, but is it your right to tell people what and what not to say on social media? But then you, on your page, exercise those rules to yourself, having no boundaries and no ground to filter or limit yourself. So you got to say what's fair. Is it fair to continuously tell someone, like when I do these live streams, yeah, I'll get 1 to 2, 3 people watching. That's not just because I get less views doesn't mean I stop doing this. But someone during the week will tell me about the live stream that I did and how I rambled and I was just talking about whatever. And it's like, well, if you actually just pressed on the video and you actually heard the words, it would actually be very beneficial. Affirmation. So if you were with me in the beginning of this live stream, I told you about sirens and horns. All right, we're almost done. I got 3 more. This one, I'm just going to read it off. It says, double mission, channeling and uplifting humanity. So channeling, like I said earlier, when you're receiving, giving and receiving without taking. So you got to uplift humanity, but also channeling. Where are we going? What's happening? What's happening in society? What's happening in the universe? What's happening? There's a lot of things out there where people don't do this. They don't check like the sun's activities for solar flares. I check, what's going on outside of the Earth. I check what's going on in the Earth. I look at the ice caps in Antarctica. Curious why these 2 people in their cars are in their cars and it's really hot right now. Anyways, the next card, I like this one. I'll show you guys. You got lost. This one says, get grounded. Get grounded. A lot of folks tell me get grounded. It says empaths, highly sensitive, connect with nature. This is exactly what I'm doing. So it's not saying, how are you? Doing cards. He was cute. But I know I'm a mess, so I'm not going to go there. Also, to piggyback on the last one, get grounded. A lot of folks think lower your vibration, because sometimes when we have higher vibration, we're excited, we have so many ideas. Then when we start talking, we don't make sense to people. Well, that's called channeling. But then this card came up too, inner temple. So this has a lot to do with listening to yourself and knowing that what you're doing is what feels right, not what's correct. And that's why I keep running my mouth. I don't try to do what is correct. I understand what's correct, but I do what's right at the same time. Even if like I don't agree with something, like let's say a political issue, which I always bring up in the past, and I own it. But I brought those things up because I felt it was right to have discussions about. And as I always say, it's not fair to tell somebody, please don't talk about that because people don't agree and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, well, but if everyone was so immune and accustomed to the things that we're not supposed to talk about, then we'll all be conditioned to be the same person, which is very boring. But then how can you branch yourself out and how can you provide a service for people if you think and operate exactly like them? So like let's say, for example, if a cashier clerk at a store was promoted to be a manager, but then still behaved and performed like a regular associate and not a manager, you're not going to go back to that store anymore. Anyways, the last card here says whoa, this was the first one I had. Sorry. The first one I had was transformation. And so this one has a lot to do with things are changing right now, and it says a deeper healing is coming. So that deeper healing is mental clarity, self-awareness, social competence, emotional intelligence. These are all things that I guess some people knew about when they worked for like a corporation, but then a lot of people don't know what these a lot of people don't know about these things. So I think that's where I always try to shine in on talking too much, because there's a lot of things that I have learned, and I just try to elaborate on those things, bring them back. And because I don't know, I can't imagine me coming up in life and not having came across those things that really matured me a little bit from where I was in my 20s. Yes. So anyways, I hope you guys like that little read. I'll be back in a few hours to do like the astrology, but I just wanted to walk and show off these cards. If you missed the story, one of my good friends, he lives next door, and every Friday we have like a movie night, or we have food, or we talk about life. But usually I do his cards on Fridays, but he did me yesterday. But anything that applies to me, well, actually, here's the rules. When you are the card holder, I like the light. Ooh. See the rainbow? That's me. So anyway, anyone who owns cards, you kind of don't want to do a whole thing for yourself. There's like a whole karma thing about it. So when my friend did it, I said, okay, I'll share this with everyone because I'm always looking out for everyone. So maybe I'm going to project these forward. But these are pretty cool. It's all about thinking for yourself, having some goals, not being so involved with everyone's drama, taking some time out. Like I've been telling my friend Jay, dude, take a break. Take a break today. Don't. No one has. There's not. What I'm trying to think. There are no rules or laws that says that it's our job to wake people up. It's our job to spit the truth. It's our job to, it's not our job. Your job is to. Can we wear the mask to be? Let me ask is it optional? The mask? Mask is optional? Huh?
You get vaccine?
No. So yeah, just to be safe. Thank you. That's why I asked. All right. You know what's going to happen, you guys, right? So you saw how he asked me if I was vaccinated? And I was like, no. See, and here's why I get mad at some people. They say, well, but you should. Just do it anyway. And that's where I have the issue. Because no one can answer why. I'm at Vons. I have to get dish liquid and toilet paper. You could tell that the one side of my family, they're Southern, because we say toilet paper. We don't say toilet. Oh, if I froze, I'll let you go. I'll be back at 5 o'clock for our astrology reading. Bye, everybody. P.S. My breath stinks.